It's time for a faith booster. I want to talk to you today about doing the thing that you want to do in your life, fulfilling your dreams. Have you ever just wanted really bad to do something big for God, but you're just like you ask this basic question: what if God doesn't show up? What if I fail? What if it doesn't turn out like I thought it should? And before you know it, you get into this analysis paralysis, and instead of doing the thing that you want to do, you just are like, no, I'll live the normal life. I'll just stay safe. I won't risk it. Well, I was reminded of a passage of scripture today in 1 Samuel chapter 14. It's the story of a man named Jonathan. He was the son of the king. The king was with his 600 men waiting to see what the Philistines, their enemies, would do. Saul was the king, and he was chosen by God, and then his son Jonathan was the guy who's gonna do the thing that he wants to do. And so Jonathan takes his armor bearer in 1 Samuel chapter 14, and he has this thought. He wants to go and defeat the Philistines because they're the enemy of God. And he has this thought, instead of being like, what if we fail? He has this thought: what if God shows up for us today? What if God does the impossible? What if victory is ours today because we're doing the thing that God has called us to do? And so my friend reminded me of these verses, and I just think they'll encourage you today and boost your faith. They found themselves in 1 Samuel 14, this Jonathan and his servant within the passes. It says in verse 4, it says between a rocky crag on one side and a rocky crag on the other. Like they go to see the enemy and they're between a rock and a hard place. And it's in that place that Jonathan steps up and says to the young man, his armor bearer, he says this: "Come, let us go over to the garrison of these uncircumcised. It may be that the Lord will work for us, for nothing can hinder the Lord from saving by many or by few." I mean, the guy is literally like, hey, we're going to go win this victory because what if God shows up today? What if God does the impossible? What if the very thing that we're dreaming of doing, God just steps in and takes it away? Do you know, when we started this Faith Booster, it was sort of along those lines. I don't know what these are going to do. I don't know if God, wake up in the morning, do the Faith Boosters. It wasn't like that at all. It was just this idea that I had, and I thought, man, what if God will use this in your life to encourage you today? It's the same thing I've done in every endeavor I've ever done in ministry. What if God might blow his spirit on this work and bring victory in it? That's how dreams are made. What is it that you long to do for God? What is it that's keeping you from doing that? What if today you asked the question, what if God showed up and did the impossible? Because you see, God could save by many or by few. So you ask him to bless the work that he's put before you. You use your talents that he's given you for his glory, and the world is yours. Who knows what God will do if you just stop and say, hey man, what if, Lord, you do the thing that I'm dreaming of you to do?
From the pain, I just wanna